Hi, welcome to Berwick Mitsubishi. My name's Ben. Today I'm going to walk around this 2015 110 TSI Highline that we have here in stock. So as you can see, starting off at the front, we do have, now let me just take that away, it is not an R-line, it is a 110 TSI. So this has been tricked up a little bit. So let's just go through and run through what physically is on this particular vehicle. So looks the part, nice big Volkswagen badge standing out at the front that everybody knows and sees. So we remember the days of the old combi that used to go around, but that badge is very, very iconic. So really, really nice looking car. As we can see, we do have 1, 2, 3, 4 proximity sensors on the front of this vehicle. So being a compact wagon, it does make it that little bit easier to get around in the car parks and places like that. Looking over the bonnet of this car, you can see very, very clean. 2015, so it should be, but there's no marks or scratches that I can see on there as well. The other thing I will point out is you do have your fog lamps in this vehicle as well, so that does have it. Now with the front grille, you can see the part that I probably like the most, it really stands out, is you've got that nice grille to allow the airflow through, and we do have the nice chrome grille on the front as well, so just to give it that little bit more. As we look here at the front, we can see that nice slimline quarter panel on the front that is clear of any marks or scratches as well, so there's no marks there at all. As we look at the front wheel, now this does have the Bridgestone, so those tyres are as new, and this does have the 18-inch alloys on it as well, which do not have any gutter rash on there at all. Looking at the front here, so the front driver's side door, again clear of any marks, and we do have your proximity, so you do actually have your side indicators integrated into that side mirror as well. Now one thing I will like to point out, and if I can ask the cameraman where he's put the keys, we do have the proximity key. So when we walk up to the vehicle, we'll put those in our pocket and we press that button and lock it. So that locks the car. We put our hand in, that unlocks the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the cameraman to take the keys from me. So no magic tricks, not trying to do anything stupid, but it shows you there that it is actually locked. So if you're in a car park and you've got kids screaming and you're like, what am I going to do? You don't have to worry about looking through your bag to try and find it. Now if I grab those keys back again, we put them back in my pocket again, pull that lever, as long as the keys are within the proximity of the door, it will open. Now as we step down to the back, you can see that rear door again, like the rest of the front and the side. You can see that there is no marks, there's no dents on there at all either, but you do have that aggressive line. Now the one thing I want to point out with this particular door, if I can get the cameraman to go around in front of me, you can see that line looks like it's there for style. Yes it is, but the other thing it is there for is what we call side intrusion bars. So that side intrusion, where that door is that little bit wider, what that does is gives it added strength. So that seam that you see across the side of the car is actually there for a purpose, it's not there just to look good. It does look good, don't get me wrong, but it's there for a reason. If we step down to the back, we'll have a look at the back tyres. Now they're good tyres on the back there as well, and we have got mark-free wheels there as well. Looking down on the top of the roof, we can see you do have your roof rails. Now you can get crossbars that go across those, but you do have the roof racks there to allow you to put stuff on. So if you were going to the snow this year or looking to do something like that, this car will accommodate. Looking at the back, again, nice Volkswagen badging. And look, I reckon the black and white slimline plates really set it off as well. So looks the part. We do have the Golf TSI, what we call Blue Motion technology. So Blue Motion technology is the motor technology that Volkswagen have come along and brought into the market. Very handy as well. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4 proximity sensors. Now the one thing, if you do look at the way that they have this proximity set out to the side, It's not worrying about what's behind the vehicle. What it is actually doing is worrying about what is beside the vehicle. So that proximity sensor will actually be sensing out beside me here. So it'll actually start beeping if you are looking to hit something so close. Now, the one thing everybody always goes looking for is, where's the boot release? There's actually no boot release there. Very, very handy. That boot release there works as a, so the Volkswagen badge actually works as a boot release as well. The one thing I like about this particular vehicle is you do have a huge space. So I can even sit in there and we can see that there is massive amounts of space in there. Now I'm 6'1", so huge boot room in this particular car. Plus we do have auto folding seats as well. So go to Bunnings, somewhere like that, you've got the big bit of timber or something that you're trying to get home, all you need to do is come in, pull that lever, that will then open the boot. Other handy part, very, very simple, easy to use. The other part I do like about the boot of this car is we hold that down. We've got two tabs that sit on the side which acts as a runner. That locks in. When we do have a look at this now, let's get Kyle to have a quick look. The one thing is you cannot see what is actually in the boot. So people looking in, oh yeah, they've got the boot liner there. We actually don't know what's behind it. Very simple and easy though. And it's pulled away. We can fold that back over as well, but very, very handy to have. Stepping around to the passenger side, looking as we had on the other side, the wheels, so good tyres on there, gutter free, so it hasn't been scratched, those rims either. But looking down, you can see that we have got the window tint already done on this particular vehicle. Proximity sensor as well, so if you're walking up to the car, you can do that from this side as well. So you do have that proximity sensor there as well. Front wheel, nice and good tread and no marks as well. So overall condition on the outside of the vehicle, I would say this is a 10 out of 10, but you'd expect that for a 2015. Okay, so now under the bonnet of this Volkswagen, the 110 TSI. Now the 110 actually stands for something, okay? So the 110 stands for 110 kilowatts. Now that 110 kilowatts is putting out 250 Newton meters of torque. This car is a 7-speed automatic, and that's probably one of the differences from the 90 TSI where they're a 6-speed. So this is a 7-speed auto, getting 5.4 litres per 100 kilometres. This car has a 50 litre tank, so very easy to work out. That's going to get you around 820 kilometres per tank. So very, very handy. The one thing I will point out now, these guys are very, very thorough on their safety. So let's run through a few little safety features that we can see under the bonnet. I suppose the other part that I always like to talk about with Volkswagen is their safety, but the way that they do things. So they're very, very particular. They like to make sure that everything's done 100%. So you can see even just the way that everything is right accessible on beside each other. So you've got the dipstick right beside your oil filler. So you don't have to go looking across the motor to find where your dipstick is. It is right beside it. So very, very handy. But a couple of things that I will point out. So what we've got is strategic weakening spots. But instead of like the old other cars that are out there, instead of having just a strategic weakening spot where they've just got a little dent, where they've actually got the runner that goes right across, that gives it added strength right across the bonnet. You can see as well, you've got another strategic weakening spot, and then the front is another strategic weakening spot. So that one thing that they really hit home on is safety, but their attention to detail. So these guys do it, and they do it very well. The other thing as well, we see you've got that really, really strong bracket there that allows added strength and when that locks back down, it locks in underneath here. So in the event of an accident on any front-on collision, it's going to give the passengers that little bit more security in the car. Okay, so now inside this 110 TSI, so you can see here that you've got black on black on black, which really looks good. I suppose the other thing too is it's a lot easier to keep clean. So you've got the black mirrors with the nice white light there that gives it that little bit more. Not that I really look into that, but for the girlfriends or the partners out there that are thinking the same thing, you do have it driver's side and you've got it passenger side as well. But let's go through what we can see here inside this particular vehicle. So what we've got is the auto park brake. So very simple. We park, we put it in drive, we go to take off, it then turns itself off. We then turn the car off, it will automatically come back on, but just pressing it up will turn it off, turn it back on. We do have auto hold. Now, not sure if you know exactly what auto hold does, but if you're on the lights with this type of gearbox, it's called a DSG. So what that DSG is going to do is have a little tiny bit of slop in it, so it's going to have a little tiny bit of play, and that's when you'll feel that the car will roll back that little tiny bit. The auto hold is there to stop that. So when you press that auto hold, you're sitting there waiting. You can actually have your foot off the brake. It will physically hold you there until you press the accelerator, and it will then come off. So very handy. Talking about that Blue Motion technology that we were talking about, we do have your auto stop start. So start stop system. Now you can see there up on the screen it says start stop system deactivated. So when that highlight is on, it's saying that it is deactivated. Then you turn it back off again, it'll say that start stop system activated, so it's actually running. Looking up here, we do have your dual zone climate control. Very easy. So I can have mine at 23 or 22 or even down at 16. The other side I can have at 23. Now if I say, okay, well I want to sync the two together, we press the two buttons, we press the button and it syncs both. It will automatically sync to what the driver has to get the driver the most comfortable. So that is very handy to have. We do have menu there as well. Now the best thing about menu is you can see exactly where the air is going at any one point. So you can see that it is there. Now you've got auto air recirculation. You can turn that on and off and climb. So that's very handy. We go back out of that, so we'll go back in. So you can see there the car does have what we call navigation. So it's got your navigation in there. Very simple, easy to use. You can see there, the one thing I'd like to point out is the sensor. So when you go to touch the screen, it then comes up with new destination. Very simple, easy to use as well. Type in the city that you would like. So we're in Melbourne. So Melbourne, Victoria. Enter street. Actually, you know what? Let's go back. Let's type in Berwick. Sorry, I want Berwick. Enter street. So we're looking for Kangan Drive, and we're 20. So there we are. So that shows exactly where we are. Now if I do that, you can see that it actually shows up that we're very close to our destination. So we're there, and we're going to be there in 1 minute. So where it's picking us up, we're actually just north of, or just to the east of where it's actually looking. So very easy to use. we do have traffic reports, we have got the car. Now the car's going to say exactly what your kilometers per hour are, but it'll give you your litres per 100 kilometers on average. So it'll show you exactly what you've done since you've actually started the car. So that's very, very handy to have. Shows you there we've got an average of 6.2 litres per 100 kilometers, and we've got 51 kilometers per hour average. So it shows you that the fuel consumption on this car is very good. You'd expect that with the little 1.4 litre turbo though. You would expect that. So very, very good fuel consumption, but you've got to think they're getting a lot more out of little motors with the new technology that they've got out there at the moment. Since refueling, so it's saying that we've done 33.8 litres per 100 kilometres, but that's because we're actually sitting here physically at this point in time, so we're not moving, so it will show that. And you can see there, since we started the car, it's been started for 9 minutes, so very, very handy. Shows you that as well. Radio, we've got your radio settings there, so you can change and plug everything in. So you can actually see there it's got who is actually playing at the moment as well. Radio text. Then we do have the radio, so media, that's the media, and then we've got your Bluetooth, so my phone is actually hooked through there at this point in time. Looking over to the steering wheel, now this has a feel that you'd expect from an Audi, so very, very nice feel to it. Very, very sporty steering wheel. The one part I do like the most though is the flat bottom on the steering wheel, so that's going to allow you to maneuver the steering wheel what you'd expect in the racing type scenarios of a sports car. What we do have on the steering wheel, very, very simple, easy to use. We have got a you've got your cruise control function over here on the right hand side, so we've got the button there at the top which turns it on and off. So it's saying there cruise control is now active. So what I can do is set that cruise control to a certain speed, get to the speed and press set. So that'll allow you to change that. But you do have what we call speed limiter, and we've got cruise control. Now the two different, so there's two very, very different scenarios what we've got there with speed limiter versus cruise control. The difference is cruise control will hold you at a speed, where speed limit will limit you to that speed. So if you've set the speed on a speed limiter to 60 k's, it physically will not let you go over 60 k's unless you need to in an emergency situation. Where cruise control, you get to the speed, you set it, and it will actually stay at that cruised speed. So that's the difference between cruise control and speed limiter, but this car has both of them. As you can imagine, the type of horn that you would expect, so the button that you would expect in a Volkswagen, so the nice rounded V-dub, and you've got the V-dub badging in the middle there as well. Over here on the right we do have your volume controls, over here actually on the left, and then we've got over here on the right the controls to adjust to change through tracks. If we go back into radio, so you can see there I'm changing through the radio station. Over here on the right hand side as well, what we can see is what you've got over here, but then what you've got in the center as well. So you've got audio, you've got vehicle status, navigation, so you can see there it's calculating the route that we've put in, telephone, so you've got my mobile phone there. Now the best thing about that is if somebody starts to ring, you can physically just continue driving, not taking your eyes off the road much at all, and see exactly who is calling you. Driving data, so you've got average consumption, so there's more information there that you can go through. Very, very handy to have. So if I just go back in vehicle status, navigation. So there's heaps of little things that you can do in there. Indicators are over here on the left hand side, and you've got your wipers over here on the right. So very as you would expect for a European. Here we do have auto headlights, so your headlight button is over here on the side, the right hand side. So you've got auto, then you've got your parkers, then you've just got your normal headlights. So you can have them set to auto, and as soon as the sun goes down, it will automatically turn them straight on. Over here on the right, we have got your controls to adjust your mirrors, and the other thing is you've got the heating as well. So that's going to heat the windows up if they are foggy, so you do have that function in this particular vehicle. You have got your auto locks, door locking there as well, so very handy. Over here on the right we do have your 4 controls, so that's very handy to have. And up here we have got sunglasses control as well. So me, I've always either got them on my head or up in the center console and the top as well to hide them away. So as we can look through, you've got the nice seating in the car as well. So we've got the R-line seats that have been put in here as well, but the leather inside the car, you can see, has been very well looked after. Other thing as well, you do have all your owner's manuals in the car, so you do have everything in here that you would expect when buying a car. So you do have so we can see there we've got a good service history, but again, what you would expect that from a car with 20,000 Ks on it. So first service was done, so we've done an intermediate service on it, and we've got the other service done at 14,000 kilometers. So has got a good service history there. The books are all here with it, and the owner's manual as well. So everything is in the car, which is very handy to have. So there you have it. There's a walk around presentation of this 110 TSI Highline. For any questions or a test drive today, phone us here at Berwick Mitsubishi on 9907 0555. Thanks for watching.